Bro, are you tired of getting beat by Hellcats? I got something for you. This is the ESS G3 supercharger. This bad boy will bring this Mustang up to about 900 horsepower, depending on what pulley you put on the car and what fuel you want to run. But this is a salvage title Mustang. I only paid $17,000 for this car, so I'm trying to go budget on this. I didn't want to go with a turbo setup. That's a lot of lines. That's a lot of work. So I went with the ESS G3 centrifugal supercharger. No, this is not a Pro Charger. No, this is not a Paxton. No, this is not whatever other junk you see. Some of those other kits, they kind of rush to production because they want to be the first to develop something. And that's why Pro Charger usually is the first centrifugal supercharger that develops something for a new car when a new car is released. But what the ESS kit did, they took a lot of the failures that they saw from the other centrifugal blowers, and they tried to incorporate that stuff into this build, so this should be better. If you guys know me, you've been watching the channel for a while, you know I had a 2015 Mustang that I used a Pro Charger P1 SC on. Ran 10s in that car. Here's a little clip of it. But yeah, we're gonna see what this bad boy does, and I'm gonna install it here today. We're gonna be going to the track, and we'll see what this thing runs. So real quick, first comparison, just like looking at the kit, this head unit is significantly lighter than the Pro Charger head unit. So that's one thing that I like, because you're gonna save a lot of weight right here. And if you're trying to go fast, you wanna save weight. The lighter you can get your car, the faster it's gonna run, the better times it's gonna run. So it seems a significant amount lighter. Some other stuff that I see, so on the Pro Charger cars, they put the mass airflow in the intercooler for some reason. And on the ESS kit, it was never an option. They saw that that didn't work well. The tuners were having issues. So on the intercooler, all you have is the inlet and the outlet, and you have your blow-off valve that's going to be on there. They give you a lot of different options. You can go with a tile 50 millimeter blow-off valve. You can go with Precision, or you could go with ESS's. I think it's like a Turbo Smart, or I don't know what brand it is. But so if you want to get some good sound, you can. The good thing about having that mass airflow sensor in the actual intercooler pipe that goes up to the throttle body is that you're going to get a lot better reading from the mass airflow sensor there. So you're going to have a lot better data to work off of. The third biggest difference I see between the kits is this kit does not have something extra that attaches to your harmonic balancer or your like main drive pulley, the crank pulley, I guess, whatever you guys want to call it. The Pro Charger kit has an extra pulley that basically like locks onto it. It has these like little cam locks that you turn. It's a pain in the ass to install, for one. For two, you're adding a lot of weight, a lot of rotational mass to the crank. And then three, you're adding a lot of stress because you're making it further out from the crank, and having the belt run on there, it gives you a lot more stress on the crank. So you could snap your crank. You talk about having issues with oil pump gears and things like that. It just leads to further issues. Where I like this kit, they took their time to come out with it, but it looks like a pretty good kit overall. And the price is killer, man. You're talking about like $6 grand all into this thing. Only thing you need to grab is grab your own injectors and grab a booster pump or whatever fuel system you want, and then you're good. So the injectors I'm running, I'm going to do ID1050X. That gives me room to grow. I'm just doing a 93 tune first off. But then later on, I'm gonna do a like a 4 Innovations return style fuel system, run new lines, do the whole thing, maybe 2 or 3 pumps, Hellcat pumps. I don't know what I want to use yet. As always, I'm going with tuning from Lund Racing. Lund Racing tuned my 2015 car, so we'll see. I think they'll do a good job on this car as well. They've been tuning a lot of these cars with the ESS kit, so hopefully they have all kinds of data and they got a solid tune already built for it. But let's go ahead and take a look. I'll tell you guys what supporting mods I have. So the car on bolt-ons was running E85. I'm just switching over to pump gas. Here's the box. It's pretty big. Shipping is really good. Whoever packages this up at ESS does a phenomenal job. I'm not going to unbox all this stuff because that's going to take way too much time for the video. On the car previously, I had a JLT intake. This intake sucks. If you want to run an intake, a NA setup, I would Recommend probably using like a PMAS on the car, but the old style JLTs aren't bad. I'm gonna sell that thing for like $100 or something. Also have Texas Speed headers on the car and Corsa X pipe, and it is loud. I ran an 11.9 with this on bolt-ons at full weight. All I did was take out the passenger seat, hoping to run mid-10s on pump gas and then get into the 9s on the 85 with this car. All right, so the install is going pretty smooth, but I did find a mouse over here. I'll roll the clip from when I found that guy when I started. All right, so you see that mouse. I ended up finding out where he was living. He was living under the intake manifold. You can kind of see back there the little nest. I guess they like the GT 350 intake manifold. This car, I mean, it was sitting outside. Usually it sits in the garage, but it was sitting outside for a week or two. So I think that's how it happened. Didn't drive the car every single day, but I'm going to go ahead and suck that out with the shop vac. All right, so I kind of messed up. Well, I didn't really like mess up, but I thought that the IRMCs were locked out on this where they were not. So you see I got the intake manifold off of here. I had to put the injectors in, so, you know, whatever. I had to take the fuel rail off anyways. So I'll go ahead and show you guys the IRMC lockouts. I didn't order any, so I'm going to use zip ties. So I have these bad boys off here now. You can see the little thingies. These are for the IRMC. These little things open and close. They have like a sensor that tells them what to do. We don't need that. So I'm just going to use zip ties and lock these bad boys open. I have to turn the manifold upside down and see which way is open. I believe it's like this. I don't know what to do with this side, so I'm going to have to look if it's up or down. One of these ways will be locked. So you end up getting rid of these funny tubes. Don't need these bad boys. All right, so this is the driver's side. So I just, on the GT350 intake manifold, this, when it's flipped up like this will be open, and on the passenger side, it will be kind of like down. So this normally flips up like this. We're gonna flip that down. I'll show you all what it looks like in the manifold when it's flipped down, when it's like done right. All right, so in the manifold, this is the bottom. You'll see there's like in here, this is a little flap that flips up and down. This is what it looks like when it's flipped down. It'll be smooth. And then last but not least, on the back of the manifold, there's this little like nipple sticking out. You're gonna want to cover this up and with like a block off thing and then zip tie it real tight.